Hey everyone, my name is Quinn Lozar, host of Time Capsule with Quinn, a show in which we interview up-and-coming stars to capture this moment in time. This week, the week of June 23rd, 2019, Toy Story 4 has reached top box office, grossing over $250 million worldwide, and Child's Play, the Chucky reboot, has come in close second, getting $17 million. Yeah, that's not a lot. Opening this week, Annabelle Comes Home yesterday, and a re-release of Avengers Endgame, hoping to top Avatar's rank at the third highest grossing film, behind both Gone with the Wind and Titanic, respectively. Yeah, I got that. The premiere of Stranger Things Season 3 will take place this Friday, and the series has revamped the Santa Monica Pier to be a Stranger Things getaway. Basically, one of those things where people will go to re-experience 80s pop culture, and I hear there's a Demogorgon experience, of which I'm very excited about. In music, the BET Awards just took place, and Cardi B has just taken home Best Album of the Year. Also today, actually, the day of June 27, 2019, not only did Cardi B release her new music video for Press, but also NF released a music video, Joyner Lucas released a music video, and Rich Brian released a music video, all of which I watched this morning. Lil Nas X just dropped his EP titled 7, and Camila Cabello with Shawn Mendes just released a collab single called Señorita. And breaking entertainment news this week, NBC Universal decided to pay Netflix $500 million to take back The Office. So you only have until 2021 to watch your favorite sitcom. Joining me today is the fantastic, phenomenal, legendary, amazing, supernatural Lance Valentine Butler. He is a 16-year-old actor and musical prodigy who has a comedic talent and a focus, depth, and sophistication that is rare for someone his age. He is best known for his work on Warner Brothers' 2016 feature, The Nice Guys, acting opposite Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe, 2018's Alexa and Katie and American Housewife, and 2019's album, River, that released on SoundCloud March 1st, 2019. Since the age of 5, Lance has had a passion for writing, filming, directing, acting in, and editing his own films. He is good with technology, and his musical tastes run from standards to classic rock and beyond. He is a self-taught guitarist and drummer, and he likes video games, but he is happiest when he is on set. Be prepared for this amazing interview. Thank you so much for joining us today, Lance.
Thanks so much for having me. This is a wonderful honor.
Yeah, first episode, guys.
Of course. Right?
So we're going to start every episode by asking, what did you want to be when you grow up? And where were you born?
Okay. I was born here in LA at a Cedars-Sinai, right near the Grove in the Beverly Center area. Mm-hmm. And there were a couple things I wanted to be when I grew up. At first it was be a musician and other stuff, but mainly it was directing films, and it always has been. And I kind of instinctively knew that when I started acting at 5, and went right into it. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I was going somewhere I wanted to go.
So how did you get into acting at 5? This is very young.
I know. I just kind of said I wanted to be on TV. My love for films, specifically Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, something about that film captivated me, and
it changed
me and inspired me a lot. And I think that something about that just really made me, I want to be in commercials or just on TV,
So what was your first gig then? Was it a commercial?
My first gig was in an Audi commercial. Mm-hmm. The director of the commercial, his name was Lance.
Ah, so it was fate.
Yeah, well, it was just interesting. But it was back in 2010. I was 7 so it was about a 2-year period that I was just doing auditions. And I finally got it, and I was like, this premise of it was I was sitting on Santa's lap, and I see his tattoo, and I'm like, that's not Santa. That's,
That's a good one.
So yeah.
That's
that was
exciting.
my first gig. But,
So, what was your pivotal moment in your career that made you think, okay, instead of, acting, I want to sort of also get into directing?
Another film I watched that kind of, oh, you can do this? It was The World's End by Edgar Wright. He directed that, right? And again, that it's so over the top and crazy, and I hadn't seen anything like it. Again, it inspired me to want to be behind the camera. instead of just in front of the camera. So I think maybe at first I didn't know, and I was just like, I want to be an actor. And then that kind of just like switched me. But I think from then on I was making little films, you know, I put them on Facebook. They're embarrassing, you know, to look back on, but it was like, I could tell I really wanted to create things and make stories. And
I also made a lot of films that are embarrassing that nobody ever finds.
Yeah.
It's good though when you finally decide to make it a sort of career objective, you know. And then I take it that you study film in high school.
Yes. I have a film class that I took last year that basically it was just I don't really have much time to watch movies, you know, or the energy to like sit down and pay attention as much as I want to. Like there's a lot of films I haven't seen, and this class really helped me do that while I was in school, which was really cool because I got a breather period while I was going through all the, you know, hectic school.
Yeah, school is a lot. Yeah.
So
well, it's good that you found your passion early.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I think a lot of people still have to use school as a tool to still find out who they are about themselves. Yeah. So how'd you get your reps?
Well, first, it was Daniel Hoff. I had a commercial agent, and I went when I was 5. And my mother, you know, she saw it in a newspaper. She was just like, "Oh, this is a good one to go to." It was on Wilshire. We just went, and it was quick. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I want to be an actor." I don't remember it too vividly, but I just remember, you know, immediately they were like, "Yeah, we want to hire you."
Yeah.
And so I was in from then on.
And you were probably in their commercial division.
Yes, I was in their commercial division for kids at the time. Before they recently shut it down, and my agent went off to have a family, and so they don't do, you know, they don't represent kids anymore. But I was looking for a theatrical agent at some point, and they heard about this, and they're like, "You know what? We're gonna take you onto the adult theatrical division."
At 16?
At 15, 14.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were like, "You know what? You'd fit here. You'd work." And with Gina, my dad was good friends with Gina from, you know, they had worked together on some projects. He's a music lawyer, and so that's how he knew Gina. But Gina was very helpful for me.
She helped
think
guide
about it.
you.
She helped guide me. That's
yeah.
what it was. And I feel like she was really important to my whole journey.
And you mentioned your dad's a music lawyer. Do you think you got your musical abilities from him?
Yes, very much so. And my mother a bit, but mostly my dad. He got me into, you know, all the music I listen to today. Completely changed my perception on a lot of things just by the one album that kind of just switched me as a person, kind of changed me, was Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. Something about that record, when I first heard it, really changed me. You know, as both a music lover and a filmmaker. You know, something about it, like I thought of things differently.
You mentioned that you went to go see The Wall at one point.
Yes,
Yeah.
there was one at the Wiltern a couple weeks ago, and it was very interesting, and it's one of my favorite films, The Wall, because it's just so off the wall.
Yeah.
It's so out there. It's so weird. And the music complements it wonderfully. Like, it doesn't have to follow a dialogue story, you know? It tells a story through the music.
Do you think you'll probably make some projects like that?
I hope so. I hope I can.
Well, I take it that you already released your album River on the anniversary.
And then I released it on March 1st. But
gotcha.
But March 1st was when Dark Side of the Moon came out, which somehow, I don't know why, I decided that date. It was just what came to me. And
everything happens for a reason, I think.
Exactly.
So you're self-taught guitarist and drummer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when did you learn, what made you start wanting to learn how to do it?
Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when I heard that album, I was just like, now I have a new interest in music, because I had a guitar for about a couple months. You know, I didn't really care much about it, because I didn't know where to start and what to play. Wasn't motivated. And hearing more Pink Floyd and other musicians kind of, I want to try doing this now. I want to make this my hobby, you know, doing some music. And I learned guitar at the same time I was doing my acting. So, you know.
Do you think it informs your your acting, your music?
Yes, in a way, it's like with music, it's a lot like acting.
Yeah.
You gotta learn your lines. Like learn how to play the riffs.
Yeah, it totally makes
that's
sense.
Yeah,
You know the rhythm
they're
of
similar
the scene,
in a lot of ways.
and you have to know the rhythm of
Yeah.
the beat,
Mhm.
just the same way. Yes.
Right.
In 2014, you did a short called "They Grow Up," and you played Ben. Yeah. So tell me about that.
It was a very independent short. I went to probably 2 auditions. The second time, I remember them holding me for a long time. They were like, "We want to use you," and they found the right.
Oh, it was like a chemistry read then.
Yeah, they were just trying to find the right actress to play opposite to me.
Right.
So
People at home, a chemistry read basically is when they want to keep a person and see if their chemistry works better with a different actor or actress, and they audition the opposite.
Yeah. That's how it was, and at the end they were like, "Okay, you got it." I was like, "Wow, that was very quick and simple, and I didn't expect that at all."
Nice.
But,
was it a different process then for the Nice Guys?
Oh, the Nice Guys was even more sudden. Like one audition got called like the next day.
Wow.
And I think they were already shooting in Atlanta or something, and they just came back to LA to shoot more.
Yeah.
And so they were like, "We need someone for this scene," and they couldn't find anyone. And Joel Silver, the producers, he was telling my dad, which my dad told me, that they were auditioning all sorts of kids. They couldn't find the right one that could say "dick" in sentence without laughing. So even then, you're laughing.
Yeah, it's funny.
Hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to do that, but
I mean that scene is legendary.
Yeah, I don't even know how I.
Yeah, you had quite a bit of lines. This is a lot to memorize in like a day.
Yeah. And they did just give me a day to memorize it overnight.
Do you have any memorizing techniques? Or?
Well, my technique is read it a couple times on the page, just the line, like a line specifically. Kind of like take your time with it. Learn it patterns, like learn sections of it. Say it over and over in your head, and then just look up. This is that, right?
Right.
And then once you memorize the lines, really, the cues, like when you're doing it with another person, you can
then you
come
can get
more
the
naturally.
And the
It's kind of like
and
once you've memorized, once you have it down, it's more spontaneous. It's more like in the scene. You don't have to quite worry about anything. If you're in your head, well, that's when you're reading off the page. You kind of, it's like you're thinking about how should I say this line, because you're also looking at it. So if you have it internally, if you know what the character's gonna say, you can say it how you think you're gonna say it.
Yeah, that's great advice. Yeah. So what led to 2018? You did Alexa and Katie, and then American Housewife.
Yeah.
Or was it season 2 of American Housewife came first, and you played?
Yeah.
You played Doc Brown.
I did play Doc Brown. I just had a really good Doc Brown impression. I went in. It was a quick audition, and again, same thing with the Nice Guys. Like I did something, then the next day is like you're hired. It's like wow.
Nice.
But it was
some people
so
normally
easy.
have to wait months
Yeah.
before they hear back.
Yeah, I mean, again, because they were still shooting at the time I auditioned, I think, and it was just really simple, like one line, and that was it, and I was out, and then they called me back for season 3 to play another like cameo character. I don't know why, but it was very cool. Very cool to
It's a follow-up.
I didn't ever get that before. The fact that they were thinking about me and that they were like, well, maybe we should bring him back for this episode.
Yeah.
You know.
And what led to Alexa and Katie? How was your experience?
Alexa and Katie, I remember, was first I did a couple of self-tapes, and the first time didn't go so well. They gave me another chance. I've had that a couple times. Like, they'd be like, well, we know you can do more, so do it again. Which...
through the self-tape.
Yeah, through the self-tape. They're like, you do it again. It's like, I don't get a coach or something, and I flub it, and it's
It's
like,
nice that they give you some direction.
Yeah, which is... I don't it's not common. It's a unique thing,
No, that's cool. It's because they believed in your potential.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. And so they had me do it again. I sent it in again. They were like, we would like you to come and audition for us.
Yeah.
So I went to the Sunset Bronson Studios to audition there, and it was interesting. Like, a couple kids went before me, but then I went in and as I was doing it, they seemed very excited. They were like giving me directions as I was doing it. It was like playing off that. I was like, okay. And so then they were like, okay, all right, thank you. And then I went, and then they were like, I heard people running behind me. They were running towards me, like, wait.
Oh, that is like
Wait a
an
second.
actor's dream.
Wait, come back. We want you to do it again. And I came back and I did it again.
Yeah.
And they gave me more directions, like.
So you were probably
okay,
walking out
thank
like,
you.
okay, that was it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
they came out right
Pretty
after
much.
you and were like, hey, buddy, come back.
Exactly.
in.
Like they were
Yeah.
like, oh, we can use this kid. He's got chops. We're gonna run after him.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. I never had that before. But
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, and I had that role, and it was very very brief. I mean, they wanted to use me. I could tell.
Yeah.
I didn't think they found the right place for me. So
Right.
Well,
do you think your heart lies in feature films or TV?
Depends. Like there's some television shows that are really like more like film, more grounded in reality, and some that are goofy. I mean, I can do both.
Right.
But I feel like I want to get back into doing feature films.
Yeah.
I did
We're
The Nice
waiting for
Guys.
Radio Flash.
I'm waiting
now.
for Radio Flash.
2017, right?
I did that a
Yeah.
couple of years ago, and I'm hoping to hear back from it because that was really fun to do that. I mean, even though I was in it for a little chunk of the film, it was still like the most I had to prepare for a film for anything up until that point. So
yeah. So how do you prepare a character? Like for most of your comedic characters, how do you normally prepare mentally for that?
How do I prepare mentally? I don't. That's what I do. I just be myself. I just throw myself into the situation. Like, well, here I am. This is what's happening. Like, I try not to think of it as a set, even though I kind of like there's a space in my mind that it's like, well, I'm on a set, but I shut it up whenever the cameras are rolling. I'm just kind of like, focus. You're in this scene. Like, play it how you think you would if you were actually this guy in this guy's shoes.
Yeah, and you tell the story truthfully.
Yeah, don't think about it too much. Thinking about it too much will elicit a forced response.
Right.
Which is not what I want. I want it to just be what they saw in the audition, what they wanted out of me.
All right. So this segment is life questions. It's where I ask you questions about your life and what you hope to see in the future. Trying to again capture this moment in time. What is your ideal place to live in life?
Ideal place to live. That is, you're not in the center of all the chaos, but you're near it. As in, like, you can go to a mall and have fun, or go to a theater in the area, but it's not near. Like, you're not in the center of it.
Do you find yourself more lively with people or without people in your space?
That depends. That really depends.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on the people, right?
Yeah, the people, and also the this is gonna sound ridiculous, but I really do obsess over the weather sometimes. Something about just like a gloomy day will bring me down easily.
I sometimes think it's raining because I'm sad.
Yeah. yeah, exactly. And that's what it feels like. Like the weather changes according to your feelings, but really it's just like.
Really, it's just the weather. But like in my mind, it's like this whole psychological battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I used to think that way about the weather, but really, I think I'm happier with people than without mostly.
Yeah.
We always need our time alone.
Right.
We're humans, but I think I like attention.
Yeah. No.
I mean, we all do. We're actors.
Right. Yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah.
So.
Do you go to like a happy place in your mental frame, like in terms of like your imagination? Do you have a place you go to? Like some people go to the beach in their mind, or like go to outer space.
The Grove.
The Grove.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
That's the one place. Something about that mall is really like I've had so many, fond memories there, just in that area, and the vibe of Hollywood itself just, kind of brings my spirit up. I mean, maybe not Highland with all the crowds of people, but but more so like the cooler parts, you know.
Yeah. So what's one of your favorite memories?
At the Grove. Oh, there's too many to count, man. Oh wow, it's like the one I can remember. It's not really anything I can talk about. It's just a thought, you know. It's one of those things like you remember it, but you don't remember why it was so important. I just remember like a handful of times, you know, going, for example, with my mother. Like we would drive up there, and when I was still living in a house at the time, before my parents split, we would like go up to the Grove, you know, for dinner sometimes, and I remember that, and only recently, I mean, not that recently, but like ever since middle school, when I'd take my friends over there, we'd all go as a group and everything, and, you know, I remember a lot of those times and all that.
Do you have a specific restaurant that you...
Specific restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, there's too many again, but...
How about like a genre of food?
No, I have a restaurant.
Okay.
It's hard to choose. At the moment, it's Maggiano's, but it would still be Ulysses Voyage, the Greek restaurant there. They closed a long time ago in 2017 because they raised the rates on the building, and they closed. But that restaurant, there was such a community there. You know, I'd been going since I was in a stroller. I was a little baby, you know, and they remember that, and everyone's still there. There's a lot of community to that restaurant.
Yeah.
And every time we'd go, it'd be like, oh, it's great to see you guys. I remember,
Yeah.
you know, like they'd know our names and everything. They'd sit us down. They'd know our usual dishes or anything, you know, like it was great. It was a great time. The food was like, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
One of those
Community and food.
Heaven. It was heaven.
Yeah.
It was seriously heaven. Never had a bad day there. You know, every time I went, it was like just happy.
Yeah.
At least what I can remember.
What is your nerdiest indulgence?
Nerdiest indulgence. Jesus. This is the hardest question I've been asked today.
Oh, really? I asked you some pretty hard questions so far.
because this would take an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm an ultimate nerd.
Ooh.
Like, I've been to Comic-Con 7 years in a row.
You know, I
It's like...
I know
It's
I
bad.
know all the shit about like the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Mhm.
I know everything about like music. Like I know history of bands, especially Pink Floyd. I've watched a million documentaries and studied carefully what happened, and I can like trace dates and all that. And like,
Yeah.
you know, with music. I
Yeah,
all
you
that
know,
stuff.
it's too bad they don't test that in schools. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's.
it seems like if someone's really passionate about
Mhm.
something, they should be able
They should
to
exploit
get credit
that.
for that. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
because
Yeah.
if you're gonna do something you're not good at, well, then what's the point?
Yeah, it's like exactly.
You're not good at it. There's no way to get out of that. You're just at best you're gonna be decent at it. There's no way you're gonna get out of it. So,
Mhm.
but screw school.
If you could be a superhero, which one would you be?
Or
Or would it be powers? You know,
I'm good.
you're good.
I'm good.
You like being a normal.
I'd rather not. I think that's like. I'm
Yeah.
fine how I am. I don't want to like.
Would you play a superhero though?
I would.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who, but anyone.
Right.
Even Supergirl.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be
give
so
me the,
cool.
Give me the breasts and everything.
That'd be that. I mean, in the future, we
Yes.
shall see. How do you balance your friends with your career and school? I mean, that's a lot to balance at your age.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's dead periods like this, you know, like that I can just devote time. And even then, it's like when I get something, it's one shoot and then that's it, and I'm back to school. I haven't had any, you know, like full-time show jobs or anything like that.
Oh,
For
nice.
Alexa and Katie, I had to be taken out of school for a week because they had to like prepare and everything. It was a sitcom, so
Yeah.
so the way you set it up was like kind of like a play. Like they would rehearse it a couple times. I mean, I only had like what 3 lines or 2 lines or something, and that was it. But it was all about block and everything. So
Right.
I went a couple times and I just do homework and everything, but I've never really had like a long time away, like a month or something away from
Mhm.
school.
Right.
You know,
So, do you think it's easy to transition
It's-
back, or is it
it's-
still a
yeah.
challenge?
most of the time it's easy. Well, no, half the time. Well, no, it's never easy.
Yeah. See, I feel like you should get credit for that somehow.
Yeah,
You know?
no,
It's like,
it goes unnoticed. But I mean, again, it's like that's what I have to do. I have to just kind of brush it off and continue going. And it's not that big of a deal. Like it could be worse, you know.
Right.
Like if it did get worse, I'd have to go homeschool, which I don't want because I want to develop as a normal kid, you know. Sometimes I do get auditions when it's on a day I plan something. It's like, gotta cancel those plans.
Yeah.
That sucks, but that has been rare recently. So.
And you probably have friends that are pretty understanding.
Oh no, they all are.
Yeah.
They understand. They're like, ooh, that's cool. Yeah, it's like, it's more like they're rooting for me, which is very nice. I mean, most of them at least.
What is one important thing for you that you wish you'd do for yourself more? I saw that and I was like, I gotta ask this question. This looks great. This is a good question.
One important thing. Oh my god. Yeah.
If you could do something for yourself in the future, or what lifestyle would you like to live in the future? You know.
I wouldn't want to be stuck up, famous. You know, like I'm great. I want to be a confident person, and still balance my regular life. I want to still be a regular person once I'm out there. I don't want to be like, he's a god because he was in the Nice Guys or something like that. You know, I don't want to be looked at differently just because I will be. That's just how it is. But I kind of
you don't want to act differently.
Yeah,
staying true to yourself.
You know, yeah. So I want to keep myself. I don't want to. I mean, it will be changed, but not. I don't want to, jeopardize me.
Right.
So,
That sounds like a great chance to like change segments. Welcome back, everyone. This is the Time Capsule segment. Basically, I asked Lance to bring an item that he cherishes, that he feels represents himself, and he'll talk about it for a bit, and then we'll put it in the time capsule where it will stay forever.
Yes.
It's exciting. So,
Yes.
What item did you bring?
I brought the DVD copy of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Specifically because, not just because of the film itself, but also because of the memory I have of buying, renting this at Blockbuster and
Blockbuster!
buying it a couple times. Like I bought this DVD a million times. I'd play it so much I'd break it.
Yeah.
I'd watch it every day or something. It was like a ritual. And I was like 3 when I had this. So, of course this is not the same one. I bought it several times. But I remember like the same menu and everything, like just like when it opens up and I don't know. I remember all the special features and all that and
that was me with the Lion King.
Yeah,
1.5.
exactly.
Yeah.
I really just like studied the film and remembered all the lines and all that.
Tell me, what was your favorite scene in the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Now the whole thing is my favorite.
Yeah.
Scene, but it's kind of obvious because I know this scene all the way through.
Yeah, take us through it.
It's the scene where like you stole fizzy lifting drinks from the city which now is washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. Right when they find out, oh, we're not going to get the lifetime supply of chocolate. This was a big hoax. And like that scene where Gene Wilder just loses it, yells at Charlie. That was always like, he's insane, because he's Gene Wilder, and it's just like that performance captivated me. At a young age, but that scene was like what really, as well as the tunnel scene with the on the boat. He's just, again, going insane. Is Willy Wonka a murderer? Maybe. And that's thanks to Gene Wilder. He's the one who made it, like, creepy.
Yeah.
In a way. You can interpret it. Like, he gives different interpretations. He's a sweet guy, or is he a serial killer, takes kids and crushes them into little... Like, you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know, and that's
that
just
dynamic.
the genius, the dynamic.
Yeah, people get so attracted to that dynamic between like what is over the line and what isn't. Because
that's
a fine line.
Right. Yeah. That's what's so captivating. Because not many actors can do that so smoothly and still be lovable, and not be like, like it's still like, but like, oh, okay, he's Willy Wonka. Like he can switch easily. It's amazing.
Okay.
Anyway.
So help me open this.
I will.
Let's do it.
race out
item.
there.
Yeah, the first item
There we go.
for the first episode of many to come.
Exactly.
So hopefully we'll do this again in the future.
In the future.
In the future, whenever the future is. I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah.
This is marvelous.
Thank you, buddy.
I will see you in time.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of Time Capsule with Quinn, the very first episode. Please comment who you would like to see me interview next, and subscribe for more interviews with up-and-coming stars. Till next time, peace. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Time Capsule with Quinn, the very first episode. And please comment who you would like to see me interview next for future interviews, and subscribe for more interviews with up-and-coming stars. You just Joining me today is the fantastic, phenomenal, spectacular, legendary Lance Valentine Butler. He is a 16-year-old actor and musical prodigy who has a natural comedic talent and a talent... No, just keep it running.